for today's lecture is what should be in our mind. And the special speaker is Saminath Sekar Ayya from Bahrain. I would request our mentor and senior professor, Professor Balachandran Ayya, to give an introduction about the special speaker, Saminath Sekar Ayya. Over to you, Balachandran Ayya.
Thank you, Madam Bharati, for a wonderful meditation and for organizing this program. We very warmly welcome Saminath Sekar from Bahrain for this session today. Many of you may be knowing about him, and some of you may not be. So I thought I should give a small introduction about him. He has been instrumental in starting the center in Bahrain way back in 2003, 2004. And I think that is the only meditation center in the whole world where the center is open for 24 hours. Anytime you can just walk into his house. His house is a temple of consciousness. He is the meditation center there. He goes to office but doesn't lock his house. You can just go and meditate, sit down, read books, whatever you want, you can do that. So such a large-hearted person, and because of his tireless efforts, the center has grown very well there. In fact, just across, there's the sea, and across the sea, we have Saudi Arabia connected by a long bridge. People even used to come from Saudi Arabia and learn it. And today we have a center there also. He's an engineer by profession. He's a highly placed officer in Bahrain and does this voluntary service very beautifully, professionally, with very, very kind heart. I cherish his friendship for more than 20 years now. I request Saminath Sekar ji to give an idea about what should be in our mind. It's Manavala Kalai, isn't it? Art of nurturing, culturing your mind. So he is going to give his thoughts over this. Once again, welcoming Saminath Sekar. Be blessed. Yeah, are you there?
I could not see.
Not able to see him.
Yes, I am unable to. Sekar Saminath. Yes, there is one. Sekar Saminath, sir, is there? I think he will be. Okay, sir. As it is, I will unmute him. I will again.
I got to unmute him. Yes, I think.
Yes, sir.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Great.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன் ஐயா.
வாழ்க வளமுடன். Yes.
எப்படி இருக்கீங்க ஐயா?
Oh, fine.
With all your blessings.
Yes, sir. You can go ahead. We are able to hear you.
He's not allowing participants to unmute themselves.
Oh, you're not able to unmute? No, we are able to hear you.
Okay, sir. Can I have permission to share my presentation?
Yes, sir. I will just ask the host to do it, sir. Share screen. 1 second, sir. I will just call the host.
I'll be joining from another device also for some other reason. To keep the system sometimes.
Sir?
Swaminathan ji, I have got another very urgent work. So, with very heavy heart, I'm leaving this place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blessings.
Blessing in the book.
Swamiji's blessings are there for all of us. Okay. Thank you very much. And Bharati madam,
yes,
she will take full care of you.
Yes,
okay.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Sir, Mr. Sekar Saminath, sir, you said you wanted, for sharing the screen, you wanted some other name to be added?
No, same name. In the same name, I need the...
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes, I will just give a ring, sir, to Sir, Mr. Shekhar Saminath, sir, I think
Yes.
it is done. Are you able to share your screen now?
Yeah, I'll try now. Is my voice is okay?
Mr. Shekhar, sir?
Yeah, my voice is
Mr.
okay.
Shekhar, sir? Are you able to share the screen now?
I'll try just a minute.
Hello?
Yeah, I'll try.
Sir, are you able to share the screen now, sir?
I will try. I'll try now. Yeah, I can. Yes, I could do it. I did, madam. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, I can. I could share it. Can you hear me, ma'am? Hello.
Sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, I could share my screen now. Can you see the screen? You are able to see my screen?
Sir, Mr. Shekhar, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
You are made co-host and it is also unmuted, sir. I think, are you not, you are unable to open it, sir?
No, I can. Can you hear me?
Okay. 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 Sir, oh yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay. Okay, sorry, sir.
Hello. Okay. Okay. எனக்கு நான் இன்னொரு டிவைஸ்ல போட்டிருக்கேன், எனக்கும் கேக்குது. Be blessed by the divine power. Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Can we begin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought there'll be some meditation, so I'll begin now. I can straight away start the session, right?
Okay, sir.
I can go ahead with my session.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank
Sorry
you,
for
ma'am.
sorry for the problem, sir. There were some problems. Kindly.
Thank you, ma'am. No, it's all usual. Don't worry. Thank you. Be blessed by the divine power. Be blessed by the divine power. Be blessed by the divine power. May the whole world enjoy prosperity, happiness, and peace. It's a greeting from my end to all participants in different time zones. Could be morning, afternoon, or evening. It's a great pleasure indeed to be with you all to share our Divine Father's thoughts on the title, What Should Be in Our Mind? So I respect to my beloved professors, my friends, and other associates. What should be in our mind? Really important subject, and our Guru always used to talk about the mind. So it could be like we can say what is in our mind or what should be in our mind. Do we mind really? If so, then what is mind? That's very important before we could answer the question in the topic. There is no human without mind. Nevertheless, according to our Divine Father, Vethathiri Maharishi, seldom human knew what mind is. So now let us travel with our Guru's guidance to reach answers for the question, what should be in our mind? So I just would like to take you through a few more slides. If you see the universe, all manifestations, any appearance or any action is a part of the nature only. The natural, the divine force, also our Guru calls it as a consciousness. Actually, that starts in man from a limited sphere, and extends its dimension stage by stage, step by step, towards a further understanding of its own existence in its functions in the shape of the universe. So our mind is capable of taking the shape and quality of what it looks at, what it perceives through the 5 sensory organs. And finally, this action merges with the infinite state that Guru calls it as absolute space. So this is the nature of the mind. In fact, the mind is very tricky. It's a very peculiar, and also it's an adorable phenomenon in this universe. Actually, all the values in the universe are assessed only by the mind. There's nothing else beyond this. And what we were today in the Stone Age and we are today in the computer era, compared to other living beings, they just remain as a dog, an elephant as an elephant, whereas man today have developed to this extent just because of the futuristic, the highest step of the mind, which is the projection of the consciousness itself. So every action, in terms of the values, as we said, are assessed only by the mind. And all the manifestation that exist and also their functions in the universe are found within the mind. So now you know the power of mind. It's as powerful as the universe. Indeed, Swami Vivekananda quotes here, every human is potentially divine. The mind actually, it's so powerful. All abilities, it can shrink and focus to the minute size, mean the smallest of small. And in no time, it can also expand to the vast dimension of an universe or beyond. So this is the nature of the mind. Actually, if you see the functioning field of the mind, okay? If you see the functioning field of the mind, it is the universe. I hope everyone can see the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. So the functioning field of the mind is the universe. And the base of the mind is soul. The origin of the soul is Almighty. And that Almighty also we name it as God, nature, all-powerful universal actions. Therefore, the origin as well as the goal of the mind, it is the infinite, means the absolute space. See, now if you take the mind in the functioning field, when it tries to understand the functions of the universe, the beauties of the universe, the diversion of mind is actually, happens from time immemorial because of the experience of pleasure and pain sensations. So what will happen in such a condition? The soul, it's the psychic extension of the mind, forgets its existence and its greatness, also its aim, means the infinite. So what happened? This stagnation is a big block that embodied in man that is called illusion, maya, mayakam. Only when man, develops the force of his mind by improving his self-awareness, he can succeed over this block or this stagnation. Then only he can reach the ultimate goal of the infinite. That is the state of perfection of the mind. So he leads his life if by the ancestral blessings, a timely guidance, connection with enlightened soul, like our Swamiji, then that state is perfection or realization. And this state is called wisdom, jnanam. So generally, if you see, always man experiences material pleasure in the forgettable state of this illusion, illusionary state or state of unawareness. But as well as an awareness also, that is in jnana. So both are possible. But what happens when he enjoys any commodity only with the soul consciousness, both can happen. So he gets satisfaction both from the psychic detachment from the worldly material and also the soul consciousness. On the other hand, suppose he enjoys, the same commodity or facility in the state of illusion, he gets attached to that object, and that becomes his quality. So that never allows him to further travel. And all actions, in man, for example, is it a thought or word or deed, they all get registered as an imprint in 4 ways, according to our guru. 4 or 5 ways we can say. Like they recorded in the limbs, record in the brain cells, in the genetic center, in the life force, and outside in the universal magnetism. This is law of nature that's happening from time immemorial. So these all happens in the forgetful state. What will happen? He or the soul is succumb to frequently the emotions, and so many mistakes and errors repeatedly. That is very important. So this all, the force of, this illusion takes place, force of the need, habit, and environmental conditions. So with the result, the soul continued to, travel the same wrong path and in the old imprints. So the attachment that will be, inevitable with worldly activities and materials, man and pleasure, that become deeper and deeper day by day. And consequence of this action, when it persists, so it results in pain and misery. In pain and misery, we will not have any focus. So that obstructs it, diverts it, blocks the seamless journey of the soul. And this is called sin imprint. So we have to be, aware totally. But on the other hand, for survival, the enjoyment of pleasure or peace, or ecstasy, and to develop the consciousness to its fullest perfection, we have to keep the genetic center, that should be rather maintained with health state, and it should be always given the imprints of a positive vibe or virtuous deeds, etc. So the waves of the thought, the word or action that generally most disturb the genetic center, they are unfulfilled desires, expectations based on imagination, causing pain and misery by thought, word, or deed, or all of this to self as well as to others, and disobeying the limited method in the 5 cardinal activities that any human go through wherever they are in the planet: food, work, rest, thought, and sex. So what is the result? Final result will be it deteriorates our cells, limbs, senses, and other parts of the body. So the very vehicle which is important to take up the journey is in geopod. So what we have to do? It is the effect of all these things, we call it as the mental conflict. So mental conflict finally results in disturbance of biomagnetism. And also due to the physical illness or reaction to events that we ourselves created from imaginary expectations, that becomes a contradiction to the expectation. We always react. This happens most of the time in many of us, in many of the time. So with the result, we are in the stagnated state of the soul that actually have to travel seamlessly towards the its goal, the infinite. So we have to consider each and every problem and from every angle, and do have to introspect to overcome the stagnation. And also we should be aware of the law of nature, the natural justice, cause and effect, that we know it's a self-realization. A very simple, Swamiji puts it, self-realization of having a constant awareness about cause and effect. So we also can focus on the society only if this law of the nature is kept constantly in our mind. So because of the economic equality or reformation of society, these are all we have to consider, and also our expectations and our own actions so far. So all these really impact us. So we have to take a decision to avoid any wrong actions in the future. That means we have been initiated to Agna Chakra. That's very powerful to keep us prevented from the worldly attachments or anything that we do wrongly, or the repetitive blunders being committed by us, which adds our imprints of sin day by day and stage by stage. So we have to, be aware of all, not doing any wrong, for which Agna feeling is so essential. So that actually allows us to expand our mind, to accept the results that have come into being due to reasons beyond our control. So the mind understands and feels the functions of the universe. Okay, what are all the ways in which it can feel all the functions of the universe? Only 4 ways. It can feel it as a pain, it can feel it as a pleasure, or it can feel it as peace or ecstasy. But most of the time, we are entangled between pain and pleasure only. We have to cross this barrier, and to attain peace, and sustaining peace can only lead us to a state of ecstasy. And as said before, as long as the mind remains in peaceful state, that's equilibrium, no pain, no pleasure, there's no problem. But when the mind is disturbed, what happens? It loses its balancing state, and there occurs in the disturbed mind, we call it ego. It doesn't stay there, but it produces 2 undesirable features called aggression and possessiveness. What is this aggression and possessiveness? Aggression is I, possessiveness is mine. So this I and M, sometimes we say I am, So this you can even remember, this I and M, which is aggression and possessiveness, I and mine. And if left as it is, it results in 6 bad temperaments: greed, anger, miserliness, immoral sexual passion, vanity, and vengeance. Now, it becomes, very imperative to deal with this. Because if we allow these temperaments to remain and lead the life, they, under the emotional same temperaments, they'll subject every human being to commit 5 worst sins in this life: murder, theft, lying, gambling, and sex crimes. So it's very imperative to streamline the mind. So what we have to do, we have to meditate, Agna, Turiyam, and Turyadidam, and regulate the emotional moods with the power of meditation, physical exercise, and Kayakalpa to do introspection. Then and then only it's possible to overcome the emotional mood which blocks the journey of the soul. Meditation and introspection they complement each other. They are just like wings of a bird. The life or living status of a bird depends on the healthy state of the wings. So it's not meditation or introspection alone. It's together they should be practiced to achieve the glow. So what happens? People normally come out and say, no, it's my fate, it's my destiny. What can I do for it? Yes, law of destiny is what? What one meets in life is destiny. But we are human being, given the futuristic in our life, the sixth sense, which is the ability to perceive the imperceptible, what we are doing with it. That is law of wisdom. That is called how one meets the same problem. That is wisdom. So we can't just escape, it is my fate, it's my destiny. Yes, happened is happened. But now we know the reason, what is the all about these happenings, the forgetful state. So that Swamiji calls it as ignorance, illusion, and innocence. So all the three are the blemishes, so that need to be worked carefully to relieve ourselves and see that the stagnated soul is able to travel seamlessly. So it's not a conclude at this time that that's the destiny I have to just remind. That's many of the people do. And they are not only spoiling themselves and they're becoming a big load on the whole planet Earth. So the self-effort, which is the law of wisdom, that is to be taken seriously. And law of destiny is nothing but habit, and law of wisdom, that is the one man have. That's a self-effort is wisdom. So habit and wisdom, as Swamiji always says, a man is sandwiched between habit and wisdom, and he cannot easily change his habits. Neither he could forget his wisdom. So we have to work with meditation and introspection so that the wisdom become the habit. So what to do? We have to do meditation, introspection. Only wisdom can take over the fate or destiny and can provide all the possibilities to travel seamlessly towards the goal of the mind. So we have to understand that from all the discussion that we had in these few minutes, that realization of mind is a holistic knowledge covering the entire universe, its formation, existence, functions, and results. So this divine knowledge is essential and it is imperative for everyone. You take any religious leader or a scientist or the political leaders, everyone should be provided this valuable knowledge so that they can lead other people in the path of this philosophy of nature, and we can really get into the life for which the man have been, I would not say designed, it transformed the very same absolute space as man. That should be taken seriously and travel forward. So as Swamiji says, every action of man starts from the thought force, and every experience ends in the mind. So this is a beautifully said, very simple way for our question that we just raised and then we've been discussing now. The benefits of nature are all over the universe, but the secrets of nature are only within our mind. So we have to go in and in to get more and more. So what is the best way? As put Swamiji never leaves us simply just by preaching. He gives us a very simple principle which could be followed. Then your journey will be seamless. I, in my lifetime, will not cause pain to anyone. To the extent possible, I'll alleviate the pain in others. So that is the, in short, I could share with you the answer for what should be in our mind. Did we answer it correctly? Can anyone say what should be in our mind? Okay, considering the time, let me conclude. The infinite absolute space should be the one in our mind at all times. So, Turiyadi Tava meditation, Irenilayodu Yennathai Kalakal. That is only the way, as Tirulur also said, the Tanakomai Iladan Tal Sendar Kallal Manakavalai Mokalari. So, I thank the World Community Service Center and the online team for giving me this opportunity to share our Swamiji's thoughts. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. That was an excellent speech on the topic. What should be in our mind? You have just told about, that is, you have just explained what is mind, its activities, how it gives its imprints on various parts, and also the mental problems and the functioning field of the mind. It's ego, aggression, and possessiveness that disturbs the mind. Yes, you are right, sir. But further, mind, which is the psychic extension of life force, is also the other end of consciousness. And so what the mind thinks, so also will be. As Swami Vivekananda said, destiny is thy own build-up. We need to have only good thoughts in our mind. The main reason for so many miseries and problems in one's life is due to unwanted feeling of the mind with unwanted desires, lies, jealousy, hatred, then painful thoughts, words and deeds, complex comparisons, anger, worries and all. Our Maharishi as well explained this in one of his poems with starting words in Tamil, Niraiva Perada Asaigal, how it gives bad imprints in our genetic center and spoils our life. That becomes how our life, the cycle, pain, pleasure, peace and ecstasy just stops with pain only. Everything is with us only. We just search happiness outside. Actually, we need to dive inside to where the nature has given us, has kept so many treasures. And so we need to go inside to search, in search of it. For that, we need to do meditation and also introspection. That will help us to lead a happy life. Thank you very much, sir. That was a wonderful speech with a very good PowerPoint. Dear friends, all those who have got any doubts or questions can raise your hand. That is, you can click in the chat box. You will be allowed to interact with our Professor Sekar, sir. You can feel free, dear friends. He will answer you whatever you need. Who is going to raise the hand first? Everything is clear to you, dear friends. You don't have any doubts. Remember, mind is the other end of consciousness.
Yes, one person has raised his hand. Yes, Mr. Gopi Das can.
Yes, Gopi Das, sir. 1 second. I need to unmute him.
Can I do it if possible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Yeah. Just go, you can.
So, Daddy, sir.
Thank you so much for your nice presentation, Master. It was Very well, you refreshed us about how our mind should be on our day-to-day life, how we can improve further for our purpose of towards the life. As you said, my doubt and clarification needed from you. What is the planet? There are so many planets. Is it anything to do with the mind? Can you give some insight about it? Thank you. Thank you so much, Master.
Thank you for your valuable question. May be useful to every one of us. As from our the guidance of our Swamiji, we know from the concepts of the Panchbhuta Navagraha Davam, all the planets are having direct influence on our body as well as our mind. And the body and mind, they are inseparable. As long as this physical body exists, the mind exists. And they both have the universal magnetism that influences our body. And that is working holistically on our body and mind. So they are all chemical reactions in the body that gives rise to the composition and the quality and quantitative state of the enzymes that would secrete in the brain, in the pituitary pineal gland. So all the radiation, whether this is a planet in our solar system or any other masses are manifested in the universe, they all have direct influence on our body and mind. So just we have to orient with the planets and seek the radiations or the magnetic radiations of every planet and every star and group of stars, however, that they would always bring benefit to us or prove beneficial to us.
Anyone else?
Hello. Mr. Gobidas.
Gopidas, are you there, sir?
Mr. Gobidas?
I think he is also from Bahrain. Am I right, sir?
Yes, he's from Bahrain. Okay. Any other questions?
Anybody having any doubt or questions? You can ask any questions about meditation, how to do meditation, or about Ajna, Turiya, whatever it is.
Galaxy. Yeah, go ahead. We don't know the name, but Gopidas not able to unmute. Okay, okay, the same issue. Okay, you may unmute now, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Gopidas.
Sir, good evening, sir. I'm Vidya Karthikeyan, sir. Vazhavadamudan, sir.
Vazhavadamudan.
Sir, I just have a quick question, sir, regarding this meditation.
Yeah.
Yes, sir, I am always doing only one particular form of meditation, sir. Although I have learned a lot of meditations, I'm just doing that Turiya meditation. So is it okay, or should we vary the meditation according to what they teach us, or what is the best way to handle it, sir?
Which are all the meditations so far you have learned?
I have done till introspection 3, sir. I have
Okay.
done Turyatita, Shanti Tavam, Panchabhuta, Panchendriya, all that
Yes.
we have been taught, sir. But
Yes.
I have a particular liking or preference towards only Turiya meditation, and that too only in the guided format. I'm not doing it on my own. I mean, I'm not able to visualize the entire the meditative aspect, what they tell in the Tamil or in English. I'm not able to do it by myself. With the help of the YouTube, I'm able to do it. But I'm doing only that particular one. Is it okay, or should we?
Okay, sorry to interrupt. How
Yes.
long you have been taken the practice?
Sir, just October only. Last October, I started the
Okay.
first course.
Understood.
6 months.
Yeah. So I could consider you as a person who is just begun the journey.
Yes, sir.
And I could put it in a very simple format. There are
Yes.
three basic important meditation. We call it Agna, Turiyam, and Turyatidam.
Yes, sir.
Shanti is a meditation. However, you have to practice. It is mandatory. At least
Okay.
weekly once. That has to go on.
Okay,
However,
sir.
the meditation will go on. The other three meditation, the Agna meditation, as I just told you in these my recent talks, Agna is very powerful and very important. The basement, like for a building, that keeps us to prevent, committing any new mistakes.
Okay.
So always that should be remembered. So we prevent akamiya karma being added to our imprints of sin. Secondly, the Turiyam is the meditation that works on our prarabdha karma. That is from the age of 3 till today, according to Swamiji.
Okay.
It's good that you like that Turiyam, but according to Swamiji, within Turiyam, Agna also included. Without
Yes, sir,
Agna,
yes.
you are not going to Turiyam. So,
Yes, sir.
but the important thing, if you are doing Agna, your mind should be only in Agna. And if you are going to Turiyam, you should be in Turiyam. That is the representation of our willpower to be where we have to be. Okay. Now, the third one is the ultimate meditation, Turyatidam, that merges our soul with its origin, that is the infinite absolute space, where you have been given the Diksha in the second introspection.
Yes, sir.
So this is a great boon for all of us, this human being, in this birth itself. It is quite possible to attain that state. If you have seen one of my slides, where the mind functions, its field, its origin, and what is its goal is to merge with the infinite absolute space. So absolute space, it completely vanishes all the karmas from time immemorial.
Okay.
Okay. So as a beginner, I consider you please keep going on, and we are really happy that you have to either way, whether to, if you have a mandram nearby, if possible in this situation, to go and physically present for a group meditation, have it, or join our meditation being conducted morning and evening online.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
One minute. Vidya ma'am,
Yes, sir.
in our same Zoom, we are having meditation for beginners in the morning, 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time, and in the evening, 6:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. Different meditations are being handled on daily basis. You can just, if time permits, you can just join it.
Sure, madam.
Many are coming there, so that you will get benefited. Okay.
Sure, madam.
Even if you forgot any other doubts also, you can just call any of us. We are here to help you only. Okay?
Fantastic. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, madam. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Okay. You just join. Anyone else? Sir.
Yes.
Shall we conclude this program?
Okay, ma'am. Welcome.
Yes, it was. I once again thank you, sir, for your nice presentation. Hope you will come again and again whenever time permits to give us more ideas and more lessons on Vethathiri. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, dear friends. Announcement. Tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Indian Standard Time, we have Turiya meditation, followed by video on simplified physical exercises and Kayakalpa yoga. Again, tomorrow evening, 6:30 p.m., we have Turiya meditation, English, followed by simplified physical exercises and Kayakalpa yoga video. Daily, every day, we are having different types of meditations, and Shanti meditation is played on Fridays, Panchabhuta on Thursdays, and Duryadita on Tuesdays, and Panchendriya on Wednesdays. And again, Turiya and Turyadita on Saturday and Sunday. Kindly join and get benefited. Please bring in more of your friends and relatives too, so that they will also get benefited from our Sky Yoga. Let us help others to get the benefits which we are all enjoying. Thank you all. Be blessed by the divine. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Be blessed by the divine. வாழ்க வளமுடன்.
வாழ்க வளமுடன்.